Here my wife. Anybody? Huh? Is there anyone? There are 20 participants. Please unmute yourself and tell. Tanmay, yes? Okay. Alright, so I think you have enjoyed the previous session. And now the next session is going to be on the generative modeling with the GANs. I am going to take this session. So we are going to start. So are we good to go? Should we start? Yes? Very good. Because of some rescheduling, this lecture has been shifted today. It was planned for the last day only, but it's fine. I think all the speakers were kind enough to include all those backgrounds which are actually necessary. So you were able to follow. I think I believe that you were able to follow whatever the content has been given to you. In this session, again we are going to talk about the generative modeling, and there is a very specific kind of topic. Its name is GAN, and we are going to talk about that. Welcome once again. So let us go ahead. This structure I wanted to talk to you. Okay, there is something called autoencoder, and autoencoder is something like that you take a lot of things and then you keep let's assume that you have an image. Image is of 10. Let's assume a simple image 10 plus 10. How many pixels it has? 100. So I put 100 neurons first, then 80, then 60, then 40, then 20, then 15, and after that I again increase. Okay, from 15 to 20, then 40, then 50, and again I increase and try to get that what is coming as an output. At the output there is 100. So upsampling is also again the similar kind of thing. Okay, so at the end what I am going to get, if I provide an image of 10 cross 10 output, I don't know what kind of output. It would be very rough, bad kind of output, something coming back. So I say the network that look, you learn those kind of parameters so that the input and output become same. Okay, it is a useless thing because anyway you have the image as output. Again, if you want the same image, it's a useless thing. But it is not completely useless because at the middle you have something of the size only 15 dimensional vector. So 100 size becomes 15 size, and then it is upsampled. Means what? These 15 bits are actually most important part. Okay, so you got a very good representation of the image. Okay, so this architecture is called the autoencoder. I am not going to that much detail, but what I wanted to tell you that just see the second part, where I am going to provide the 15 dimensional vector, and at the end it is going to give me what? An image. Okay, so I can take it as a generative one. Okay, let me give an example. Let's think that this kind of network architecture, is it clear to you? This green one, and at the input size I am going to provide 1 1 1 1, and at the output I want a cat image. Is it possible? Can I do this? Can I make it like that? Okay. So for the cat image, how many bytes are required? You take those many number of bytes. Okay, and assume that correct value is given to you. This is the cat image. Okay. Inside I don't know what it is, so I have to fit out the connections. What are the weights inside? How to find out those weights? I believe on back propagation, it will be able to find out that. So I can safely tell that there is a possibility that it is perfectly fine to make this kind of networks. Okay, it's not that very difficult kind of thing. I create a dense network, I provide 1 1 1, and I get the image of cat. It is possible. Everybody okay with my statement? All right. Now I further train this thing. I provide 0 0 0 0, and now I want to get the dog image. Okay. So two things I have done. I provide 0 0 0, and I want to get what? Dog image, 1 1 1, cat image. Okay. Let's assume that I have trained this network. Now I have a network that can generate something. Okay. In these kind of settings, if I provide something else, I just wanted to write. Can you help me? So in this kind of setting, 0 0 0 0 was dog. if I provide 0, 1, 0, 0, what is going to be the output? Okay. Okay. Not the next slide. Go to the previous slide. Yes, here I want to write. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I told you that 0, 0, 0, 0 is dog, and 1, 1, 1, 1 is cat. Okay. What if I provide in this learned network? What if I provide 0, 1, 0, 0? What kind of image it would be?
So a dog with cat, a little bit of cat features.
It is a kind of image which is very near to cat or dog. Dog. It looks like a dog image. Okay. So, but this dog image has not been trained, because if I provide 0, 0, 0, I get the exactly same image which was used for the training. But now I got something else. You see, this is a way to generate new things, which was earlier not in my database, but I was able to generate something new. In the same way, you can provide 0, 0, 1, 0 and 1, 0, 1, 1 or 0, 1, 1, 1 to see the different kind of cat images and different kind of dog images. Perfectly fine? So this model, this kind of architecture is actually useful for what? Creating something that is new, that is not inside my database. This architecture is autoencoder, and let me give you some more interesting. Okay, this feature was actually interesting. So let's assume that I have this image, a child image, and I have trained it with the feature, say 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, some long feature I have actually trained it on that. Okay, and this is a lady who is an aged lady. So I use it for 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, something like that. I use this another vector. Okay, I don't know exactly that we have to figure out that from this to this, if I go, so how the phase changes, because if I'm the same person, if I find out that the images at the different ages, I can also provide in between vectors, and on that also I can do the training, and then I can know that what is inside, because otherwise there are multiple possibilities, and in every possibility I may not be able to generate the thing, but some things are actually for us. So if I know that what is the envelope on which this hidden space, hidden vector actually travels, I can sample from there and I can create another image out of that. Okay, and it means what? That the person's image when they are of the different ages I can generate. How interesting it is? Okay, very interesting. So this is the idea that we can do many things with the features we have. Okay, so this is actually the overall structure. So whatever I have talked about you, this is the overall structure of the complete thing. Here we have a network. Here we have a network, and here this is for the training part. This is for the training part where actually we provide the vector. For example, just a few minutes back I told you that what is the vector, and at the end I expect the same output. And whenever I supply, because I have just given you a very simple example. In the general kind of training, what would happen? You would have many dog images, okay? Many dog images, lot of dog images you would be having, lot of cat images you would be having, and you are showing multiple cat and dog images. So if you provide me the cat and dog images, and I am able to reconstruct it correctly, then what I can do, I can find out, because every time I am going to get a latent vector, I can find out that what is the mu and sigma. Okay. One more thing I wanted to tell you, that what happens now, that generally, as I told you, that image is of very high dimension, okay? Even if a very small image of 100 plus 100 I have, it has 10,000 pixels. So 10,000 value, a vector of 10,000 size is actually of very large, okay? Generally, these vectors are very large, but when we convert it, as I told you, I am going to use this kind of architecture where at the end I am going to go to only 512 or 125, 126, something like that, with small size vector. This vector is of smaller dimension. So you can think that, what I wanted to tell, I am going to make this this idea that let's assume that I am just going to show you the something in 3 dimension, because visualization is possible in 3 dimension only. It is however 10,000 dimension. Okay, here if I wanted to represent that where are the cat images? So you can see the cat images are somewhere here. Everywhere if I pick points, they are not cat images. Okay. What do I mean by point? Take the values, put it there, take the cat image, see, because values are there, 10,000 values are there. So on 10,000 dimensional space, it would be a point. Pick another cat image, it would also be a point. So meaningful cat images, we believe that they would be somewhere in some area. It is not everywhere. Okay, complete area is not being filled by that. Okay, all right. So this 120 dimension, but this is the real area. We cannot do it anything with that. जहाँ पे भी है वहाँ पे है. Okay, because these are the real cat images. So जहाँ पर भी the points are coming, they are there. But this 120 dimensional which actually I am making, I can do a regularizer over there. I can do a regularization. If you don't understand, just think that if the value is here, I can add 5 and they can be here. I can subtract something, I can do some kind of mathematical operation so that I can shift it to anywhere. You understand this part? So in our hidden space, I have many things to do. I have many tools to handle with them. So in the hidden space, I can take them to anywhere, and if I can take them to anywhere, I can say that let's assume that there is a Gaussian. Okay, why Gaussian? Because Gaussian is something that is very near to us. Okay, most of the time, and it is not like that. Its mathematical formulation is very easy. Most of the real life phenomena also happen as a Gaussian. Okay, in the classroom, if I take the test and try to see that how many marks the people are getting, it will be Gaussian. I see that what is the weight of the people who are here. I try to plot it. It will be Gaussian. Many operations, many things are actually Gaussian. So we simply can put a Gaussian from Gaussian over there. Okay. So what I wanted to tell, that images on which I have trained, I have converted this to the hidden space, and in the hidden space I have regularized that so that this becomes what? Gaussian. This distribution becomes Gaussian. And then if I know the Gaussian, it means that Gaussian is only characterized by 2 things, what is the mu and what is sigma. So I can find out mu and sigma. Okay. From this mu and sigma, the next task is, then when I learn all these things, I can remove it and I can safely use the second part. It is my lovely part, because I know the mu and sigma. Only with the 2 values I can just randomly create any other value, and I can say that it is a z vector, z is a complex vector, and I provide this vector to the second part, which actually now would be called as a decoder, and it would be giving me an image. Okay, these are the images of cat and dogs which are not there inside my database. I can generate many images. Make sense? All right, this is how we do. Okay. So what we did, we have forced the parameter to be of the known type. Kaisa? Gaussian. Okay. There are 2 kind of laws. So if I want to train this kind of system, there are 2 kind of laws that we have to deal with, and those are very simple. One law is whatever at the time of training I wanted this value should be equal to this value at the time of training, at the time things which actually no I want them to be same. So this loss is called the reconstruction loss. Okay. So the difference between x and x bar should be x hat means x, whatever is given by my system. It should be very small so that they become same. And another thing, that this area, whatever this area should be of the known type, means the KL divergence. KL divergence is a way to tell that there is a difference between the 2 distributions. One distribution is a data distribution and another distribution is a normal. I say that the difference between these 2 distributions means the whatever distribution is generated to this latent vector, that is z, and the normal unit normal should also be small. So if I do, from a very high level perspective, just understand this part. I was basically telling that I want whatever input is whatever the same as the output means what? Reconstruction loss. And the second one I told you that here I wanted to make the things normal. Okay. So for that I am going to apply this scale divergence. Using these two things, now if I train the system, I would be, what advantage I am going to get? I would be able to generate new things because now I know how to do the sampling and then I can create something interesting. Great. This kind of setting is called the VAE. Okay. Very interesting setting. अच्छा है ना? काम करेगा? So this kind of setting is called VAE. Okay. Variational autoencoders. There are many different kind of things, different kind of problems which are there with this. The सबसे बड़ी problem जो है, the biggest problem is this, that I wanted to reduce the difference between the two images. Okay, दो चीजों के बीच में difference हमें कम करना है. अब वो कहीं से भी कम हो सकता है ना? Okay, ऐसे समझो कि मान लो जो सबसे बड़ी problem आती है, मैं थोड़ा सा बताता हूँ उसके आगे जाने के पहले एक बार आपको फिर से बताता हूँ कि what happens. Let's assume that two images I have. Okay. I have two images. One image is this, and another image is this. Let's assume that they are same. Okay. What is the difference? Zero. मैं पहले ही कह रहा हूँ they are same. But अभी मैं क्या करूँ कि यहाँ पे जो है सभी वैल्यू में 5 ऐड कर दूँ. और डिफरेंस कुछ आ गया. अब मैं दूसरी इमेज बनाता हूँ, उसमें मैं यहाँ पे कुछ ऐड कर देता हूँ, तीसरी इमेज बनाता हूँ, उसमें यहाँ पे ऐड कर देता हूँ, यहाँ करता हूँ, यहाँ पे ऐड कर देता हूँ. अरे सब में सेम डिफरेंस किया तो मुझे इज व्हाट? Are the same images but the difference is same. है ना? These images with respect to this one, all these images are actually changed, but difference is same. Is it a good thing? No. Okay. Means what? The single value does not give me enough opportunity to land to the right kind of image. So different kind of, and this leads to various different kind of problem. I am not going to that detail because in itself will take a lot of time to teach. But you have the idea that this kind of behavior where I was able to generate the images, they are actually not sharp. They are not high dimensional. They are not that much good. Okay? They may have different kind of problems in different areas. So this is the problem. So we want to go to some other structures. Okay? So now I am going to see that I am going to make it another different kind of structures. Okay? And again this is very counterintuitive, but try to see this. So this was the architecture. Let's assume I take this part here. Oh, चला जाता है. Very good. Let's assume that I take this part here. अब तो आ जाओ. Okay. Where I am going to tell that I am going to provide a vector, and now I have a generator that is called decoder that can generate something. I have not trained anything, but I randomly provide something. Random input I am going to provide this. I don't know what kind of bad thing it is going to provide to me, but let's assume that some image is going to be produced to me. कुछ तो आएगा ही. कुछ तो आएगा ही. And then I am going to take this part here. I am going to take, okay, big part I have, and I provide this thing over here. And on the, because here I am going to get the vector, I can again apply a head over there to tell the classification that based on this what image it is. Is it a cat image or not? Just think that is it a cat image or not. So cat or not. Yes or no. 0 or 1. Okay. See this a different kind of structure. Using the same kind of philosophy, I am going to create a different kind of structure where I have not trained anything. I have just made this thing where I am providing random things, it is generating something, and then I am providing to this part, and I am going to get down. Now I am going to give them a different name. This is generator, and this is discriminator. If I use this kind of structure, it is called GAN. You will be telling what is happening. I am randomly generating something. Somebody is telling me that whether it is right or not. How come it is going to be any meaningful? So let me add 3 more things. When this output says no, means what? It is not a dog image. I provide at the training time, I provide this input to this guy, to the generator, to tell that modify the parameter. So that it becomes what? Cat. It is rather not cat. But I don't know what to modify. Does he know anything? What to modify? Random was there. again use random, generate something. It will take huge amount of time. And there is ऐसा लगता नहीं कुछ कर पाएगा. That's why their trading GANs is very very difficult. If you are at the right track, start from the right initialization, then only you will be able to trade. अब थोड़ा शुरू से सही से बन रहा था, 10 में से 1-2 सही बन रहे थे, then you will be able to find out and go into right direction. So that's why initialization is very important. Okay. Sometimes you may not find that it is working, but after some time when you initialize at the right place, the same network is after some time going to give you the right result. But just think, the time when it actually works, हमने इसको restrict नहीं किया था कि your distribution should be into the Gaussian. अब पता नहीं Gaussian से क्या होता होगा, because general distributions are not Gaussian. वो पता नहीं कैसे हैं. एक जनरल तरीके का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन लिया, उसके थ्रू इसको जनरेट किया, है ना. तो बहुत ही जबरदस्त तरीके की इमेज आती हैं. ये इमेजेस अगर वो जनरेट कर पाएगा तो ही इज गोइंग टू जनरेट वेरी हाई क्वालिटी वेरी गुड इमेजेस. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट द स्ट्रक्चर इज. ओके, ऑलराइट. सो एज आई टोल्ड यू दैट दिस decoder I am going to put it here, and then encoder I am going to put it here, and then I am changing their name as generator and discriminator. Overall structure is this. Okay, as I told you. So training के time में कैसे करेंगे? How can I train this thing? How can I train this thing? So training is only going to happen for this guy. Okay. क्योंकि हमें नोन ट्रेनिंग के बारे नोन चीज़ों को इसी को दिखाया गया है, अदरवाइज दूसरे को नहीं. हाउ कैन आई ट्रेन? भाई आई हैव अ डेटाबेस ऑफ कैट इमेजेस ना. लेट्स assume 1000 images are there of cat images. Let's assume 1000 cat images I have. So I can create a database where I can take 500 images from that. I can take 500 images here and put it here. And again I can feed the random noise over here. I can generate 500 images from what? From this generator. Okay? What is the label for these images? It is 1 because they are 2 images. What is the label for these images? It is 0. I can randomize this particular database and feed it here. Look, इन images पे yes बोलना, इन पे no बोलना. Got the idea? ऐसे ट्रेन किया, ऐसे ट्रेन कर लिया, और इसको बताया कि भाई तुम्हारी सारी इमेजेस पकड़ी गई. So I can provide. I cannot show these images to this. I cannot show these images to this guy generator. I can only tell that your images has been caught. Okay. So if this guy somehow does very good and generated good images, okay, then what would happen? Here also I would get 1. Okay, means the performance of discriminator is bad. Performance of this guy is bad. If the performance of this guy is bad, means he is good. So that's why at the time of training we say that it's an adversarial kind of training. When one is good, means what? You are not good. And when he is able to fool for all the images, if he is going to fool this, everywhere discriminator is telling 1, then I say that I am able to generate right kind of images. Very important point. Again, I wanted to emphasize that these training images are never shown to this particular architecture, and that's why it is free to take any kind of assumptions, and the kind of mathematical representation it comes up with that may be very complex and very difficult to tell by humans. Means interpretability would be very very less, but he would be able to generate fantastic images if it is in any way able to generate that. Okay. All right. So we have understood all this part. Any questions on that? Do not explicitly model the data distribution. As I told you, there is no modeling of that it is any Gaussian or anything. Random noise to map the model distribution. Min-max gain we use for the training. Okay. And underlying displays, everything is fine. Okay. Just to take your things on the right page, I just wanted to tell you that we assume that there is a distribution of the cat images. Okay, we assume that there is P Z, that is a representation of, there is some representation of hidden representation of the cat images. We don't know, however we don't know, but there is some distribution. And this generator actually generates something GZ, whatever Z we provide, it is going to give me the GZ. And whatever image he is generating, right now he is generating these images. But actual images are here, okay? You see that, PZ, actually cat images are here. But initially it is not trained, so it may be generating some other images which are actually bad. You see they are at the different places. Task of training would be that they actually merge, these areas actually merge. It actually goes and covers that particular area only. Okay, ultimately I wanted this. Alright. As I mentioned that at the time of training, I take few examples from here and few examples from here, 500 examples from the original set, 500 examples from this newly ones, and then I train for the yes or no. Okay. So I can say that this distribution is actually Py. Actual distribution is Px. And the hidden representation is Pz because I am going to provide that. So we can note this. There is something called Pz, Px and Py. This is a hidden representation because it contains lesser number of, it is of smaller size. This is the real cat image. This is the generated cat image. We want that at the end there should be same distribution. Fair enough? No confusion? Alright. So how can we now define a loss function, or how can we formulate this? What value I should improve? Because I have to tell them black propagation, black propagation, try to reduce this value. Okay? Change the parameter in such a way so that this sum value is actually reduced. What values should we reduce, and how can we go ahead with that? Okay. You know the class entropy loss? If you want to say something as a y, if you have something y, okay, positive item, okay, this is the positive or negative item, and to positive item you say your value is something, okay. So this is the real value, right class, and you are telling this value. So class entropy says what? That okay, y multiplied by minus log of y bar, 1 minus y into log 1 minus y bar. Do you understand this part? This is the standard class entropy formula. This way we define the class entropy loss, what we said and what was the thing, and then we want to reduce this class entropy loss so that the classification becomes correct. So I will come back to this formula in a bit very soon, once again. So I just wanted to highlight one more thing, that to make this system work, I have to do a kind of training that is called the adversarial training, where discriminator and generators are actually reverse to each other. If discriminator passes, means the discriminator is good, means what? The generator is in loss, generator is bad. If the generator passes, means discriminator is in loss. Ultimately we want, okay, discriminator should be in loss. Okay. Okay. Let us try to formulate the thing. How to make the formula for the training. Okay. Okay. So let me just give you this idea. Just be with me. If the input is x, x is the right thing, na? So what is the ground truth? Right image. I am talking about the discriminator only, okay? And what is the prediction for the discrimination? So this x, when the x is inputted to the discriminator, output should be 1. Okay. So you know that if you feed right image to the discriminator, output should be 0 or 1. Whatever image you feed to the discriminator, output should be 0 and 1. When you feed the right image, output at that time output could be 0 or 1. If the output is 1, is there any loss? No, because correct thing I have fed it correct output. Okay. If in the same setting, if the output is from the discriminator is 0, ये तो गड़बड़ हो गया, क्योंकि original image I have given, but discriminator is telling 0, it should be a loss. So what value I should take? ऐसे देखो, okay, discriminator का output यहाँ पे देखो. When the discriminator is telling 1, what is the loss? बोलो, 0. When the discriminator is telling 0, loss कितना होना चाहिए? बहुत high. So what function I should use? ये function use करूँ, ये function use करूँ, ये function use करूँ, ये function, कौन सा function use करूँ? कि इस तरीके का कोई function use करूँ, कौन सा function use करूँ? भाई loss के लिए कोई function चाहिए ना? वो function कौन सा होना चाहिए? ये exponential use होना चाहिए कि linear use करना चाहिए कि ऐसा करना चाहिए, कैसा करना सही रहेगा बताओ? ऐसा सोचो कि 1 और 0 के अलावा भी लेट्स अज्यूम दैट अदर वैल्यूज आर आल्सो अवेलेबल विद 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.8 कितनी वैल्यू होनी चाहिए इसकी मुझे बताओ. ये अगर 1 कर दे तो बहुत बड़ी गड़बड़ी है यार, तो बहुत ज़्यादा एरर होना चाहिए. ठीक है, इसके आसपास बता रहे हैं तो इतना ही हो. 9 है तो बहुत बड़ी वैल्यू देना कोई ठीक नहीं है ना. सो लीनियर रिलेशनशिप कोई सही लगती नहीं है. ऐसा लगता है कि यार तुम जरा आसपास रहोगी तो मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट इफ यू गो फार बियॉन्ड तो आई हैव अ प्रॉब्लम. सो इट वुड बी गुड टू हैव दिस काइंड ऑफ फंक्शन. ओके, सो कैन यू गिव मी एनी फंक्शन जो इस तरीके का है? हाँ, मान लो इधर की तरफ है x, इधर की तरफ की वैल्यू x है. वो कौन सा फंक्शन है f(x) जो मैं लिखूं कि वो यहाँ पे ऐसे हो जाए? क्या मुझे बता सकते हो?
e to the minus x.
e
e to the power minus x.
e to the power minus x कैसे होगा फंक्शन?
दूसरे कोऑर्डिनेट
0 पे क्या होगा वो? e to the power 0, e to the power 0 is 1. तो 1 नहीं चाहिए ना, मुझे तो इनफाइनाइट चाहिए, है ना. तो इसका एक तरीका बहुत जबरदस्त निकाला है लोगों ने, और उन्होंने बताया कि ऐसा करो जैसे log x का जो log x का फंक्शन होता है वैसा होता है ना. log x का फंक्शन क्या होता है? ऐसा होता है. तो हमको इधर देखना ही नहीं है. एवरी टाइम आई एम ओनली इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस. सो यहाँ पे वो फंक्शन ऐसा है. इफ आई टेक माइनस ऑफ log ऑफ x, तो ये कैसा हो जाएगा? उल्टा हो जाएगा. तो आई शुड टेक what function? minus of, and dx is the value that I am going to get over here. So minus of log of dx is the something that I wanted here. ये बात समझ में आ रही? ये समझ में आ रहा है? So I should use minus of log of dx. Correct? अब दूसरा केस देख लेते हैं. Okay, second केस क्या है? When x is equal to 0, मेरा जो है gz, अब x की जगह gz आएगा ना. gz क्यों? क्योंकि अभी तो x थोड़ी ना इनपुट हो रहा है, दूसरा तो हमारे जनरेटर से आ रहा है. दूसरा कहाँ से आ रहा है? भाई जो इनपुट फीड कर रहे हैं या तो x राइट इमेजेस फीड कर रहे हैं या तो जनरेटर से फीड कर रहे हैं. जनरेटर z का वो gz जनरेट करके देगा और इसका लेवल तो 0 होता है. तो अगर इसने 1 दे दिया, गड़बड़ कर दिया. इसने 1 दे दिया तो गड़बड़ कर दिया, है ना. तो व्हाट आई वाज टेलिंग, बार बार मैं गड़बड़ कर दूंगा और ऐसे होता रहेगा, फिर से वही वाला अच्छा इसी पे लिखते हैं ना। हाँ, so सो अभी दूसरा जो केस है इसमें व्हाट आई हैव टू डू दैट वन साइड देयर इज समथिंग कमिंग फ्रॉम एज डी ऑफ जी जेड, ओके। डी ऑफ जी जेड जो है डिस्क्रिमिनेटर ने जो बताया जी जेड के ऊपर, डिस्क्रिमिनेटर ने जो बताया जी जेड के ऊपर वो था 1, तो 1 पे मेरा क्या इरेड होना चाहिए और 0 पे क्या इरेड होना चाहिए, बताओ मुझे। बोलो। 0 पे अगर उसने 1 कर दिया तो इसका मतलब 1 पे मेरा एरर बहुत हाई होना चाहिए, 1 पे मेरा एरर हाई होना चाहिए, है ना। देखो इसने 1 किया ना, 1 पे ऐसे मेरा हाई होना चाहिए, लेकिन अगर वो 0 पे 0 ही दे रहा होता तो मेरा एरर इतना होना चाहिए। नाउ आई वांट दिस काइंड ऑफ फंक्शन, है ना। अब मुझे इस तरीके का फंक्शन चाहिए और मुझे चाहिए कि इसी पर ये इनफाइनाइट हो जाए। e टू द पावर x ऐसा लगता है, लेकिन e टू द पावर लगभग वो यहाँ पे लगभग e की वैल्यू ही देता है, बहुत हाई वैल्यू नहीं देता। तो मुझे ऐसा करने के लिए लॉगरिथमिक टाइप का ही फंक्शन चाहिए। अब मैं यहाँ क्या करूँ, मैं यहाँ क्या कर सकता हूँ, हाउ कैन आई क्रिएट दिस फंक्शन। हमने भी थोड़ी देर पहले देखा कि एक ये फंक्शन हमको बनाना आता है ना, दिस इज माइनस हाफ लॉग ऑफ x। अगर मुझे यहाँ पे वही वैल्यू चाहिए जो यहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे वही वैल्यू चाहिए जो यहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे वही वैल्यू चाहिए जो यहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे वही वैल्यू चाहिए जो यहाँ पे है, और मेरा कॉन्टेक्स्ट यही है कि मैं कभी इसके बाहर जाता नहीं, तो कैन आई राइट दैट 1 माइनस लॉग ऑफ दिस क्वांटिटी, कैन आई राइट लाइक दिस, क्योंकि ये वैल्यू और ये वैल्यू आपस में 1 माइनस वैल्यू से वी कैन जस्ट गेट, कैन आई राइट द फॉर्मूलेशन लाइक दैट। So that's why I can put, instead of dx I can put here 1 minus for the given z, whatever generator has generated on this discriminator, whatever it has said, this is what the error function is. Correct? Okay. एक बार फुल स्क्रीन कर लें क्या? Okay? Yeah. And in this case there is no problem. So ओवरऑल मेरा जो प्रॉब्लम है ना, ओवरऑल फार्मूला हम कैसे लिख सकते हैं, ओवरऑल फार्मूला हम ऐसे लिख सकते हैं कि ये वाली वैल्यू माइनस हमारा लॉस फंक्शन कैसे बनेगा, माइनस ऑफ लॉग ऑफ डी ऑफ एक्स, जबकि हमारा x is coming from where, x is coming from where x is coming from where, x is coming from where, actual data, okay, and this part minus of log of 1 minus d of g of z when 1 minus, थोड़ा सा कैजुअल हो जाता हूँ, expected value of when the x is coming from जनरेशन, इन दोनों का समेशन होगा, इन दोनों का समेशन होगा, and since this is minus I can take it safely out, that expected value of this and expected value of this, okay, expected value of this, am I right? Okay, I want to minimize this quantity, I want to minimize this quantity for the discriminator, okay. So I can say that okay, I can maximize this quantity, है ना? This is what the formula is. So I can simply say that मैं इसकी वैल्यू को मैक्सिमाइज कर रहा हूँ, okay, alright. So this is what the formula is. I want to maximize when from the data x is coming from the data and x is coming from the hidden representation. I want to maximize this thing. It is correct. So this is for the discriminator. And similarly for the For the generator, the same thing, instead of maximizing इसको हमको minimize करना है ना? तो दोनों को एक ही फार्मूले के आधार पे we can train and we can combine this thing and say that this is what the formula is. By this formula, I am going to train the system. Okay? When we formulate this kind of equation, then I can give it to the back propagation and system would actually eventually going to learn. Done? Solve? It has been, I am not going to the mathematics, that for the given discriminator, I create best generator. For the given generator, I create the best discriminator. So this is going to be into the phases, and it has been found that there is some mathematical formulation that gives you that given this particular discriminator, for given generator, how to find out the optimal discriminator. So it would be that if P of data of x divided by P of data of x plus Q of data of x, you can find out. So I am not going to that detail, but I can just safely want to say that now with this formulation, our back propagation would work and we will be able to find out the right things.
Sir?
Yes.
So I have a question.
Please.
So, sir, when we are taking data from actual data, and for instance, like if a single data has been taken and for that data the discriminator has said that yes, the generated data is real. So after that, when the like the next actual data will come, so the parameters which has been trained for discriminator and generator, will they be reinitialized or it will start from that point?
No, they are not initialized. So with every item I am going to change. So they are not initialized.
So at the end, like
no, look. At the time of training also, sometimes we are correct, sometimes we are wrong. But if we are correct, we are not changing the parameter, whatever parameter I have. If I am wrong, at that time only I am changing the parameter.
So like at the end we'll get a generic value for the parameters.
Correct.
Like after.
Correct.
So there can
so
be.
I understand what you wanted to say. You wanted to tell that right now I have shown an example, my system is telling correct. But if another example comes for which I am wrong, if I change the parameter, my things can go wrong. Okay, this happens. This always happens. But there is a proof in ML that after finite amount of time, if the data is linearly separable, you will be actually going to converge. So there is direct proof for that. We have less time for that, but I can give you the pointers. You can just see that there is direct proof. It is always happening. But for correct items, in the next iteration they can be wrong. But eventually after many iterations, all of them are going to be correct. If there is a possibility of driving a line, okay, then at the end everything will be correct. Does it answer your question? So there is a proof. I will provide you. Okay, you can search on it. All right. So this is the formulation of GAN, and this is a very interesting paper, came in 2015, DC GAN, and there is you can see the generator and discriminator architecture. No need to go into that inside. Let me show you that. Okay. Why? Okay. So this is the output that actually has been generated by DC GAN, and these are the images of the hotel room. You can see that it looks like very realistic. Okay. Also, very interesting thing they have actually shown in their paper that, for example, these images. These are the ladies with a smile, and again we have images with the neutral faces. So image with a smile. If I subtract from that the original images, what remains to me? Smile. Then I can add it to the, say let's assume there is male persons, so the male person keep smiling. Okay. So this idea is called walking into the latent space. So however you can see that there is a lot of problems with these kind of generations, but even getting these kind of results at that particular time was very interesting. Okay. Artwork has been created from using the DC GAN at that time. So who has created this? This person writes this. So this is the same equation that we have talked about a few minutes back, min-max normalization and min-max training, and this image has been generated. Okay, all these things are, I don't know that I'm not that much able to tell good or bad, but they seems fine, okay, to me. So this particular image was actually in 2018 generated and was auctioned how many? $432,000 US. So lot of things has been done. So conditional GAN, then the next paper is about the conditional GANs, and it actually talks about that if given the image you want to find out that what is the description, so image and annotations you provide to the system for the learning, and after that they generate better tags for you, and this is even more tags and more appropriate tags it can generate in the text generation. This is a very interesting paper, Pix to Pix, and many other time people are using this. This paper actually tried to came in CVPR 2017, and actually it talks about that for every pixel, let me tell that what kind of pixel it is. So Pix to Pix actually can then replace that particular thing. So if there is a road, it can change it to anything else. Okay, instead of the plain road, you can draw some muddy road or whatever. Instead of this car, you can put in here bullet cart. And instead of roads, you can put trees, and from the trees you can put roads. Many things, style transfer you can do. And here, for example, best example is here where some artist has created this bag, and now StyleGAN can give you different kind of bags, and now you can choose which bag you like, and then this bag goes for the production. Then you can customize your thing and produce. Given the input photograph, you can create the maps, many things, many style transfer you can do using Pix to Pix. It's a very influential and landmark paper. Again, CycleGAN, again very interesting paper that actually not only is able to produce good images, but it's very real time also. So the authors have actually in the CVPR they have shown that actually whatever image in front of you, they can just change. So you can see that zebra images become horse images become zebra images, real time change. Summer images taken at the summer time becomes winter time or whatever style transfer. So this image becomes different kind of styles. You can see that all these things can be done very quickly and very fast. Again, this we have seen in the first class itself that using StyleGAN, you can 2019 paper, you can generate these realistic images, and even these things are very new, but the field is advancing so fast that every year things becomes obsolete. 2 years back when the diffusion model came, even we are able to get better images than these. StyleGAN has again has a very interesting this diagram that says that if these are the peoples and these are the peoples, if you mix these two peoples, you can get something like that. For childlike faces, you can see that for this girl, this boy, how can you mix and match? If this person and this person features are matched, it comes out to something like that. So you get the feature in the high dimensional, in the lower dimensional representative space, and then you can manipulate them to find out very different kind of outputs on that. So a lot of things can be done with this, and I will close at this point. Hope you enjoyed this lecture and get some good idea. Any questions? Any questions for offline people who are here with me? Online peoples? Online participants? No?
Any questions? This is the last session of this workshop.
This
So
is the last
if you have
lecture
any
session.
questions, then you can ask.
This is the last lecture session, and after that there will be a practical session by Rituraj. Once again, thank you everybody for joining, and it's a wonderful teaching to you and discussing with you. Thank you. Best wishes. Bye bye. Yes, you have a question.
So this, I have a statement and I want your comments on that.
Mhm.
So basically, can we consider GANs as a kind of expensive filters?
Filters, they are generators, na?
No, expensive filters also. They also can change image, and GANs they can change the image in such a way
I don't know. Filter means what? On the same image, if I apply a filter, I get the same size image. Filter are something fixed, small size things which are applied on that, na? I don't. I just wanted to understand more on this.
Few
What is your
applications
question?
of GANs are like if we provide them the black and white image, then a colored image can be generated.
Correct.
At the same time, we are using the filters.
Style transfer. No, actually, there is no direct way of doing that. Na? So they are very sophisticated and advanced. So they don't go into this way.
They are far away from filters.
They are far away from filters because they have to do multiple processing. They have to take the image to the high dimensional space, then bring some other components, add to, and then reconstruct. So direct filtering cannot be talked upon that. But at the end, everything is ultimately there are CNNs. So at the end, everything is fully connected network, and FC assume all other values to be zero. We carefully fabricate a fully connected network that can exactly do the CNNs. But that cannot be achieved by training, but carefully we can create. So in that sense, if you want to talk, then everything is neural network, then everything is weight, then everything is filter. Okay? Alright?
Yes, sir.
Good question. Alright, thank you everybody. Best wishes. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Kamlesh, for your lectures, and Kamlesh engaged a lot of sessions in this workshop. So, in future we will have more assignments like this, like the same workshop. So, best wishes.
And the next session I think would be by Yutraj. And at the
A lab session.
Lab
Lab
session.
session.
So you can move to.
So after lab session, we will have lunch around 1 or 1:15, and I will inform you the exact time because we are waiting the availability of our director, sir. So once he will be available, then we will assemble here and we will do the availability session. So,
Thank you everybody. Bye-bye.
So,
recording cancel हो गई